Welcome back to another video. My name is Evan Olbricht. I'm a professional surf and lifestyle photographer here in San Diego. Super excited about this video. Going to be super casual. Have some notes here. Going to just talk about how I started my photography business and everything from starting in middle school to now, where I actually have like products built out on my website, doing client shoots daily, helping other people build websites, stuff like that I'm working on right now. So super excited for this video. Hope it kind of helps inspire you and also just shows you what I've done to get to my spot and that it's different for everyone, but obviously at the same time, we can all learn from each other, learn from each other's mistakes. And yeah, there's just so much to learn from everyone's experience. So first off, getting into it, where it all started. In middle school, I got a GoPro. I started seeing Clark Little, like he's like the guy who kind of started that like shore break, empty wave photography, was obsessed with it. So I started taking all these GoPro videos. I had like this GoPro where I'd go in the waves. I'd actually be like jumping in these waves with my GoPro. It was pretty crazy, but a lot of fun in middle school. I actually ended up getting a lot of shots that my friend's parents wanted to buy, which was just insane to me. So I did a middle school fair. If I can find that photo, I'll throw it right here, but did a middle school fair. I sold a bunch of prints on metal, bought them at like Costco. They were so cheap, and I was selling them for pretty cheap too. I was selling them for like 100, 150 bucks for metal prints, which nowadays that's how much it costs to actually get those prints on metal. So great price, but it was so much fun, and that really kickstarted the building a business for me. And I was like, I can actually make money from this, really enjoy it. I'm pretty good at it. So that's kind of where it all started. And then in high school, I was playing like 4 or 5 sports at a time, so it was insane. So busy, but I still shot quite regularly, as much as possible. Was trying to surf as much as possible. That's when I got an Aquatech water housing, and then I actually got a Canon 70D. My dad had a Canon, so I shot on Canon, and then got a Canon 70D, and that's kind of where it started for Canon for me. Just really liked it. Super easy to use. Honestly, knew nothing about cameras, and the water housing was just like the base housing, but it was a full kit. I got it on sale. I think it was like 900 bucks. So my whole kit then was like $2,000 with Canon 70D and Aquatech housing, but was just so stoked to have it. Was shooting, as I think like it was like once every 2 weeks, honestly, not a ton, just because I was so busy with those sports, but was still obsessed with it. And then once I got into college, I went to school in Point Loma, San Diego, which is on the water if you don't know. So was shooting almost every day, honestly, which is just insane to me. Was shooting so much. They have one of the best surf teams in the nation as well. So got connected with the surf team, started talking with the captains, shooting them. Also got into the sports program there, where I actually became really the head photographer for the sports program for 3 years. Senior year left because I got a job at a marketing agency, but really kickstarted my obsession with photography in college, where I was actually shooting almost every day, really as much as possible, at least editing videos and stuff every day, photos every day, selling prints, building my website, built one on Wix, built one on Squarespace, built one on Shopify, currently using Squarespace because I feel like I have the most creative freedom there and it looks the best. So been loving that, and then actually built out products my senior year of college, which was presets. Had a lot of people asking for me to sell presets, so started building those out. And then once I graduated, which is where I am now, a year after school, really just working on building that business part. So relaunched my presets. So I have 3 presets: surf, sports, and lifestyle presets. Honestly, makes it so much easier to do this because I actually use those presets for my photos every day, and they are so helpful. So honestly, it wasn't even like I was like working really hard to build out these presets, because I already use them every day. So I just optimized them, sell them on my website, and they really help people out because I've been editing photos for like 9 years now. So that's all of that into those presets. So you can buy 3 of those preset packs realistically for 75 bucks or 25 bucks each, and you'd have all of my editing experience for that long. So that's huge, and that's why I think those are worth so much more than I'm selling them for. Also recently put out an ebook of all my experience. And this is kind of where I've started to actually build these products, because as a photographer, I noticed that there's so much opportunity to work with clients. And I'm working with clients right now. I love working with clients. It is so fun to meet new people, see what they're building with their products, working with a lot of surfboard shapers right now, other companies. I have these products right here where, Beach Box, they're like portable showers. Awesome product. Awesome product. I just tested it out. Works great, super fun. I'm shooting at Malibu RV Park, Labor Day, so a lot of client shoots, but at the same time, you only have so much time with those client shoots. You can't be shooting 10 client shoots a day. Obviously, it just doesn't make sense. You only have so much time to edit, get those photos back. So that's when I started thinking, hey, I need to like start building these products. So that's where the presets came in, and then my ebook as well. And my ebook, I think, is just an insane value for what that is, because it's like 74 pages, I think, 72, has all of my experience from photography in 9 years, put that into there. And I was working on that for like 6 months. So that was a huge project for me, because that was during a lot of client shoots, a lot of work in my marketing agency. And then I was doing that on the side. So working on that a lot. Turned out really well. I'm super excited about that and hope that can help a lot of people. But I think just transitioning over to those products was super nice, where it gives you that flexibility where it's like, hey, I really got to work on this client shoot for a week. I can't do a lot of other stuff. Maybe you can still sell those things on your website from videos like this, from videos on social media, stuff like that. Really helps open up your bandwidth and helps you actually focus on the projects you want to focus on. And you don't have to take every client shoot. And also right now, I'm trying to get more into lifestyle commercial shooting. So some shoots I'm doing for free in exchange for product. So I'm not even getting paid for that. So that's why I also need that buffer for those sports presets. For those presets into my ebook, really gives me a buffer so that I can work on what I'm passionate about and help build up those portfolios as well. Also, just read at my website. So while I'm doing a lot of this back-end stuff, I don't have a ton of time for those client shoots. So the presets, the ebook give me kind of a barrier where I can, hey, have that time to actually do that. That's been so helpful, and I highly recommend, if you're a photographer, even just selling more prints. Like, I'm not a huge fan of selling prints because I just never had good luck at selling prints, even though I have sold a lot of prints in person. I think the only way to be really good and actually sell prints consistently is selling them in person at like markets and fairs. And I've seen people, I feel like their photos aren't great and they're doing so well selling photos in person because you're getting a connection with the people, and then you're actually selling these photos and they're seeing them in person. And it's such a different experience than seeing them online, because you really can't tell what it looks like online versus in person. So would highly recommend that if you are really interested in selling prints, is doing that at local like farmers markets, stuff like that. Seen a ton of people have great luck with that. But yeah, overall, just been so much fun building my business, so passionate about it, more than ever, and just been having a lot of fun. And definitely ask me any questions about anything that you have. I recently started an LLC as well, so went through that whole process. Before, it was just filing as like a sole proprietorship, but when you're making enough money, you definitely want to do everything to make sure that it's right. For that federal stuff, state stuff, there's so much going on in the back end where you want to be smart with it. Take advantage of those taxes as well. Obviously, I don't know a ton about that, but talk to a tax professional, talk to people that know what they're doing with that, because it really can help you and save you a lot of money in the long term if you do that the correct way instead of doing that the wrong way at first, because then you really have to go back and fix everything. But some lessons I tell my younger self is shoot for what you love and then find the people who need it. Don't wait for permission, offer free value, but position it like it's paid. And then consistency builds trust, and trust overall will help you build a business. And even like these videos, I love making these videos to help you guys out because I was in that position. I'm still learning every day, because as a creative, you will never be in a spot where you're done. You never have to learn again. That just, if someone ever says that, run away, because that's just a lie. You always have to be learning. And then consistency, always, if you stay consistent with that, you deliver good results. That's going to build trust with your customers no matter what you're doing, even if it's free work. And then it'll lead to paid opportunities, lead to selling products. So stay consistent with your work. Consistency equals success in the long term. I tell that to myself all the time because it is not easy doing this. And a lot of times you're like, oh my gosh, like these videos are totally flopping. They're just not doing well. And that happens so much more than people think. But hey, you just got to stay consistent. Some of those videos will do really well. Be true to yourself. Be authentic. Just make videos talking about what you've done. But yeah, that's all I have for the video. Hope this was cool, kind of hearing a little bit in my story. But definitely ask any questions down below. Would love to kind of hear your thoughts on my story, or just what you have questions on my business, anything like that, different products. But Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my newsletter on my website to get 20% off any product on my website. Do a little surf shoot, stuff like that. This is always a lot of fun for me if you live in San Diego, Orange County. So let me know down below. Comment, like the video, share for your friends. Really helps me out. Only takes a second. And see you next video.